Alright, so when I tested this out, the lighting was a bit weird. But whatever. We're gonna go with it. Hi guys! So you may notice that the video quality and the audio quality has improved quite a bit since my last video. That's because I got a camera for Christmas, like an actual legit camera. So I'm using that. YouTube fame, here I come. So anyway, it's the end of 2016. By the time this is up, it might actually be 2017. Whoa. I decided I needed to do some sort of reading wrap-up for the year, and instead of just telling you all the books I read and like going over them, because that's boring, I decided to do some kind of a word book tag thing. Kayla from Bookadoodles was the first person to do this, I think, so I'm going to link her video down below. And anyway, I'm using her tag as a reference. And basically it's like a Bookish Academy Awards where you take one of the Oscar categories and change it slightly to apply to books. So like instead of Best Actor, you have like Best Male Protagonist. And I'm not sure if this is just supposed to be about books that came out in 2016, but I'm going to do it with just the books I read in 2016, so I have like a list on Goodreads of all the books that I read. And I'm going to talk about them. And the one I'm not going to count is Harry Potter, because I did reread one of the Harry Potter books this year, but I'm not going to count it because every answer would just be Harry Potter then, and you don't want to hear that. First things first, I did get to my Goodreads goal of 60 books by the end of the year. I actually read 61, and I'm reading the 62nd. So the book I'm currently reading is Empire of Storms, and I can't really get into it because it's been so long since I read Queen of Shadows that I can't remember the characters that much, or like the plot line, and I kind of just stopped caring, but hopefully I'll be able to kind of get into this more, because I'm only like a little bit of a ways in, so maybe I'll get into it more later. Oh crap. It's fine. Right, so let's do this. The first one is Best Actor, which means Best Male Protagonist. And I probably should have thought of these answers before I started the video, because I don't know what to say. I know I said I wasn't going to mention Harry Potter because every answer would be that then, but I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Six of Crows. I just really loved that series. So I'm going to say the best male protagonist that I came across this year was Kaz Brekker from Six of Crows / Crooked Kingdom, that whole series. He's just so great. I really like characters that are a bit like morally gray, like you don't know if they're good people or bad people really. Because I wouldn't say that Kaz is a villain, but I also wouldn't call him a hero or a good person necessarily. Yes, he's a very interesting character. He's very different from a lot of characters that I've read before, so I think that's why I like him so much. I don't know, yeah, he's just... interesting is the best word I can describe him with, I think. I don't know. I forgot that I read most of these books. Next one is Best Actress, which is Best Female Protagonist. This one's hard. Oh man, I can't think of anything. Hold on. I think for this one I'm going to say Aurora from The Princess of Thorns. This is a book that I think is really underrated. I've heard exactly one person on BookTube talk about it, which is why it prompted me to pick it up in the first place. And it's really good. I really like Aurora. She's really headstrong and stubborn, impulsive, like just pretty badass. So you know, basically everything that I really love in a female lead. Even when she was doing things that felt kind of like really impulsive or like almost dumb, you didn't feel the need to yell at her, you felt like you wanted to root for her instead. And of course this didn't come at the expense of her having emotions and like being emotional and like crying and feeling scared. Because I think the problem with having a strong female lead is that people take that as the person has to be cold and unfeeling and can't show her emotions or else she's not strong, even though I think being a strong person means that all around you are brave, but you also have emotions and are human and feel things. Next one is Best Cinematography, which is Best Plot Twist. Spoilers ahead for the Ascendance trilogy. I think I really liked the plot twist in the first book, where you found out that in fact Sage was the lost prince that they were trying to stand in as. I can't remember, it's been a while since I read it, but I can't remember if I saw that coming or if I was completely taken by surprise. But I think that's just a really good plot twist. Kind of very Anastasia-esque, and I really like Anastasia. So I'm going to say that one. Next one is Best Costume Design, which is Best Book Cover. I feel very passionately about book covers. I do judge a book by its cover, because I think if your book has a bad cover, no one's going to want to pick it up. But books with pretty covers just give me life. I think for this one I'm going to say the covers of these books that I read in 2016, which are Pippi Longstocking and Peter Pan. Obviously they didn't come out in 2016 or even recently, but I bought them and there's newer editions and there's really, really gorgeous like chalk illustrations and writing and stuff, and they're really beautiful. I love these. The next one is Best Supporting Actress and Actor, which is Best Male and Female Sidekicks. For male, I'm going to say Ronan Lynch from the Raven Cycle series, because I feel like the main characters are Gansey and Blue. and so I guess that would make Ronan more of a supporting character, but he is like my favorite one in the series. I didn't like him in the first book, I for some reason didn't like him, but then throughout it he really grew on me. Now he's like my favorite. I still have to read the last book, but he's like my favorite. And for female, from the Grisha trilogy, I really love Genya. She is my favorite character in the series. So I'm gonna say Genya for that one. Next one is Best Original Screenplay, which is the most unique plot / world. I mean, obviously I read a lot of fantasy books, like I read the Throne of Glass series, the Grisha trilogy, with all these huge, vast fantasy worlds that were so creative, and I love them. But I think I'm gonna say, for the most creative idea for a storyline / world, is from The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. It's such an interesting idea to have this town where there's normal people who are living amongst the chosen ones, and they recognize that and like make fun of it. It's really hard to explain unless you've read the book, but it's just so interesting because you always read books about the chosen ones and like their adventures and stuff, but it's interesting to see what's going on with the normal people when the chosen one is doing something adventurous and just looking at the normal lives of people in that same world. I didn't explain that very well. It's a really, really hard concept to explain, but just read this book if you haven't already because it's great. The next one is Best Adapted Screenplay, which is the best book-to-movie adaptation. Now I gotta Google which book-to-movie adaptations came out this year because I do not remember. Okay, well there's a lot that came out, like A Monster Calls, or BFG, or Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, or The Girl on the Train, but I haven't actually seen those movies yet, so I can't comment on them. Okay, so I think for this one I'm gonna have to say Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling, because that's honestly the only book-to-movie adaptation that I can think of that I've seen and really, really liked this year. Though to be fair, it's very, very loosely based off of the book Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because it's just taking the character of Newt Scamander and like the beasts and stuff, and just everything else is from J.K. Rowling's brain. I really loved Fantastic Beasts. I think it was great, especially after the whole thing that was the cursed child that happened this year, which was horrible. I was really happy with Fantastic Beasts. I think Eddie Redmayne was great. I love Newt Scamander so much. And the plotline is really interesting because it was nice to just sit back and watch a Harry Potter movie that you didn't have to like critique of how it didn't match up to the books, or what they were doing wrong, or what they were leaving out, or what characters they were ruining, because they literally couldn't do any of that because they had so little to work off of from the book that it was all just kind of creative stuff. And it was really interesting to see a darker side and the more adult side of the wizarding world. I don't think 5 movies is necessary. I'm also a little bit upset that they're not going to be focusing on Newt and the Beast in all 5 of the movies apparently, and it's going to move into like Dumbledore and Grindelwald, which I don't really care about. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how they're going to take the story and how it's all going to tie together. Next one is Best Animated Feature, which is a book that would work well in animated format. And for this one, I don't even have to look at my list, I know what I'm going to say. For this one, I'm going to say the Amulet graphic novel series by, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this right, Kazu Kibushi? Is that how you, I don't know, that's probably wrong, I'm sorry. But since it's a graphic novel series, you can already see it in the animated style. So I think if they were ever going to do a movie adaptation of that, they should definitely do it animation. It would just be so cool, and I can't imagine it being real life people because I'm used to seeing the illustrations. And honestly, I haven't even finished the series yet. I need to read books 6 and 7 still. So yeah, but I really love that series. It's really great. The next one is Best Director, which is a writer you discovered for the first time. And for that, I'm going to say Leigh Bardugo, because I've never read any of her other things before, and now she's like up there in my like top 3 favorite authors, because I think her writing is just gorgeous. And I will read anything and everything else that she ever puts out, probably. Okay, well the next one is Best Visual Effects, which is the best action in a book. I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes and I can't think of anything, so I'm going to skip that one. Ooh. The next one is Best Musical Score, which is the best music in a book-to-movie adaptation. And again, I'm going to have to say Fantastic Beasts because I didn't see, that's the only book-to-movie adaptation I can think of that I've seen. And, I mean, it's Harry Potter music, it's great, okay? The next one is Best Short Film, which is the best novella or short book. I don't know if it's much of a novella, but I think I'm going to say The Assassin's Blade from the Throne of Glass series. It combines a bunch of novellas. If I had to pick one from that, it would probably be the pirate one. I can't remember the name of it, I think it just has something, has pirate in the name, because I just love pirates. And I think The Assassin's Blade is my favorite book in that series, which is crazy because it's not even part of the main series, it's just a bunch of Slane's backstory, but I think it was really interesting. My mom has chosen this exact moment to be in her room and start blow drying her hair, and I feel awkward filming with the other around, so this sucks. The next one is Best Picture, which is the best standalone. And for this one, I'm going to say The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I'm not a huge fan of contemporary, as I've said, but I love everything that Morgan Matson writes. I've only read 2 of her books, but I love them both, and I'm planning on reading her other 2 earlier books. But this book is really, really great. Also, there's a bunch of dogs on the cover, so you can't go wrong with that. Her books are just such good summer reads, like, and they're not just like fluffy contemporaries, and they're not pretentious contemporaries, they're like somewhere in the middle. It's just nice, realistic, not pretentious feeling. Kind of, it's a happy read in the end, you know, but it's like, it's just good. And dogs, like. And finally, the last one is Best Documentary, which is the best historical fiction or nonfiction book. And I didn't read a lot of nonfiction this year, but definitely the best one I did read was The Hamilton, also known as Hamilton the Revolution, by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Jeremy McCarter, which basically just goes into, in depth into like the process behind writing Hamilton and the history of like actually Alexander Hamilton's life and just little notes on all the songs and stuff, and it's just great. If you're a Hamilton fan and you haven't read this book, I really, really recommend it. It's really great. And also, it doesn't feel like a fan book, it feels like an actual well-written book. Now, these aren't categories, but I just wanted to say I think my favorite book that I read this year is either Six of Crows or Crooked Kingdom. I read them back to back and all the events kind of swirl together, so I can't remember what happened in what book, but I like them both. Probably Six of Crows I liked better, but maybe not, I don't know. One of those was my favorite. Now, my least favorite book that I read this year was either Unhooked by Lisa Maxwell, which is this one there. I think it was just because I was so disappointed by it. That was the most disappointing book of the year. It sounded really cool, like a good Peter Pan adaptation, but it, like, sucked. Then there's also this one that I had to read for school, which was called Fifth Business by Robertson Davies. Probably the worst book I've ever read. I really hated it. I hated having to read it for school. It was terrible. Do not recommend. Ugh, it sucks. So that is my Bookish Awards and kind of my year in review of 2016 and the books that I read. I know I mentioned a lot of the same things over and over again, but I tried not to. So here's to a good 2017, and I will see you guys some other time with another video. Bye!